सपना नै हो भने यो अब सायद नबिउज्यूला म सबै चाहना सँगै आँटौँला सारा ईश्वर साक्षी राखी तिम्रो सफलताको लागि दैवसँग पनि ढाँटौँला मन मात्र होइन मेरो आत्मा नै सुम्पिदिउँला म तिम्रो लागि एक होइन हजारै जन्म पनि लिउँला म
Ladies and gentlemen, please be settled down as we're now about to officially start the event in just 10 to 15 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, namaste and a very warm good morning to everyone present here. Welcome to TECHX Student Edition, Bits to Bytes, the next generation shift, proudly organized by Softwareika College of IT and E-Commerce in collaboration with the UK College. Today marks the third edition of TECHX, and for the first very time, we are shifting the spotlight directly onto the students through job fairs, entrepreneurship masterclasses, project showcases, which will be empowering our students to present, participate, question, and lead. Softwareika has been a pioneer in the British education in Nepal, offering globally recognized degrees through Coventry University in computing, cybersecurity, AI, and data science, together with the UK College, leading institution in the education industry renowned for delivering a wide range of professional skills development programs like short courses on AI and cybersecurity from the NCC Education. As our guest today, we have Mr. Bigyan Shrestha, our chairman of Softwareika. Similarly, we have Mr. Suraj Singh Thakuri, the COO at Kantipur Media Group. We have Mr. Binayak Kuikil, our renowned digital content creator. We have as our special guest, Mr. Pramod Paudel, the principal of Softwareika College. We have Mr. Prajwal Tiwari, the growth marketing manager and our entrepreneur. We also have Ms. Andrea Wilmot, the Director for Global New Channels and Markets at Coventry University. And we have Mr. Alex Hawke, the Internationalization Manager at Coventry University. With us today, we have Dr. Sarisha Shrestha, our panel moderator, and Miss Nepal Earth 2022. With us today, we also have Ajay Lama sir, the Business Development Manager at DG Group. We have Mrs. Santoshi Shrestha Pradhan ma'am, the Finance Director of Software Group. And last but not the least, we have Ms. Drishti Silwal, the Chief Academic Strategist of the UK College and DG School. Please give a round of applause to welcome our distinguished guest today. And for today, I am Kimti Shrestha, a student at Softwareika College and your host for today. Now, to begin with this special occasion with a moment of unity and respect, I kindly request everyone to please rise for the national anthem of Nepal, followed by the candlelighting ceremony.
सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली सायौं थुङ्गा फुलका हामी एउटै माला नेपाली सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली प्रकृतिका कोटि कोटि सम्पदाको आचल वीरहरूका राजधानी स्वतन्त्र अचल ज्ञान भूमि शान्ति भूमि तराई पहाड हिमाल अखण्ड यो प्यारो हाम्रो मातृभूमि नेपाल बहु जाति भाषा धर्म संस्कृति छन् विशाल अग्रगामी राष्ट्र हाम्रो जय जय नेपाल.
Thank you. Please be seated. May I now respectfully invite on stage our distinguished chairman, Mr. Bigyan Shrestha sir, and the CEO of DG Group, Mr. Raju Bania sir, to inaugurate the program with the candlelighting ceremony. Thank you so much, sir. And now, without further ado, to officially inaugurate today's program and extend a warm welcome, I am honored to invite on stage the visionary behind this platform, the chairperson of Nepal Chamber of Commerce for the IT wing, and the chairman of Softwareka College, Mr. Bigyan Shrestha. Please give a round of applause to welcome the chairman of Softwareka, Mr. Bigyan Shrestha.
Good morning to all of you. Our distinguished guest, Surya Singh Thakuri, Kantipur Media Group CEO, Binay Khakural ji, digital content creator, Pramod Paudel, the campus chief principal of Software College, Prajwal Tiwari ji, the entrepreneur, Andrea Walmart, welcome to Nepal once again, the director of the global market from Coventry University, Alex Hawk, the manager of APU, moderator Dr. Sarisa Shrestha, and then CEO of the DG Group Rajesh Bania sir, Ajay ji, my team. I'd like to welcome all of you to this event, the wonderful event. I think it's a very exciting morning. I'm really motivated that a lot of people, there are a lot of students, the tech enthusiasts are here, and definitely I think that this discussion, the panel discussion that we're actually ahead with this program will help you to influence and to take a very good decision to your life. Definitely, as you all know, Nepal is emerging into the technology, and there are a lot of opportunities for youth, for entrepreneurs, and definitely for the educationists like us who actually are working hard to deliver a very good curriculum, very good education to the youths, so that in future you can actually work in the IT industry, the emerging IT industry which is coming up in the next coming years, next coming decades. And I think you all know like what is the future ahead. I think this panel discussion will be focusing, I think, on the next gen, like what is the future for you now and in the future. Like especially you all know there are a lot of new things coming up in artificial intelligence, cyber security, data science, computing, software engineering, blockchain, metaverse is coming up. Okay, so this AR or virtual reality, augmented reality, and all these blockchain in the technology, Web3 technology, they are coming up, and I think the students, the school students and the high school pass outs, you have a very great time. You have a very good, yes, to choose and to explore the possibilities in technology. And really, I'm looking forward that this panel discussion to give you a very good insight. And thank you very much for coming. And I'd like to welcome once again to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bigyan sir. Up next, before the panel discussion, I have a quick fun announcement to make. So we have a social media challenge. In what all you have to do is capture your favorite moments, your favorite memory, post it in your Insta story or anything, and the best memory will be winning gift hampers in just a week. Now, up next is the session I know that you've all been waiting for, our powerful panel discussion on the theme, Shifting Landscapes from Local Roots to Global Roots, Preparing for the Next Generation Digital World. We have with us a dynamic blend of minds, and guiding this conversation is a truly inspiring personality who blends intellect, advocacy, and leadership. A doctor by profession, a television presenter, a strong voice for health equity, and your Miss Nepal Earth 2022. Please join me in welcoming our panel moderator of the day, Dr. Sarisha Shrestha. Dr. Sarisha, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Kimti, for the kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here with you all today and to be having this meaningful and hopefully insightful conversation. We all are living in the world of fourth industrial revolution, where technology is not just a sector, but it is the driving force behind how we live, how everything is done today. From AI to machine learning to data analysis to cloud computing to automation. The speed of innovation is faster than ever, and it comes with a lot of opportunities. But with these plenitude of opportunities also comes complexities and questions. And in order to address these questions, we've got an incredible set of panelists with us today. And me, as a student of health informatics, and also I'm currently working in health data analysis, so I'm equally excited to hear from their stories, their insights, their real-world advices that they have to offer. As they come from different walks of life, from media, from education, international curricula, entrepreneurship. So I'm really excited to welcome our esteemed set of panelists. Starting off on the list, we've got someone who's been here in the media landscape for a very long time. He's a veteran, someone who's very bold, admirable, and we've known him since the days of Call Kantipur to right now leading one of the biggest media houses in Nepal. I think you've already guessed it. It's none other than Mr. Suraj Singh Thakuri. Can we have you on stage? Likewise, I'd like to invite on stage one of the very popular Nepali YouTubers. He's not just a content creator, he's someone who educates, who inspires, who sparks conversations on various contemporary issues with a dash of entertainment. He's also one of my favorite, personally favorite content creators of all time. He is the man behind Why So Offended, Mr. Binayak Kuikil. Can we have you on stage? Likewise, our third panelist is someone you might be familiar with, and if you're not, you should definitely be if you're planning to join Softwareica, because he is the man who is bridging the gap between the global IT curricula and the local education. He's providing students with an incredible opportunity to get UK accredited degrees right here in Nepal. The principal of Softwareica College, Mr. Pramod Paudel. Can we please have you on the stage? Similarly, I'd like to welcome our next panelist who's showing Nepali youths about how to go global without going anywhere. He's connecting the youths and freelancers with a lot of remote job opportunities, international exposure and income. He is a growth marketing manager and entrepreneur and the founder of Remote Job Nepal, Mr. Prajwal Tiwari. And to bring in some international perspective to the table, we have a very visionary lady who's been transcending borders and uplifting students and guiding them into this competitive tech field. She is the director of Global New Channels and Markets of Coventry University, a place that's not just known for world-class education, but also for the commitment to industry readiness and innovation. Please help me welcome Ms. Andrea Wilmot. So thank you so much to all our panelists for joining us today. So I would quickly like to delve into today's panel discussion. So let me start my question with Mr. Pramod Paudel, since you are the principal of one of the reputed IT universities in Nepal. We really want to know about what is your perspective on the present context of IT. Why is it such a critical subject, and what is the future like for students who are aspiring to enter this field?
Thank you. Once again, I would like to welcome all the students and my colleagues. Thank you so much for making your time here. As introduced, my name is Pramod Paudel. I am the principal at Software College of IT and E-Commerce. We run technology programs at the undergraduate and postgraduate level. And also I'm a part of Software Group, working with Mr. Bigyan Shrestha, who is the chairman of the Software Group. And I would like to thank all of our panelists today for making it and to impart your experiences to all of you as well. So coming back to the question, why IT and what's the new thing about technology? We'll start by going back 25, 30 years. So the technology was introduced in Nepal, I think, by Mercantile Solutions. It was long way back. I hope Surajji remembers when Mercantile introduced the internet and all those things to Nepal. So back then, when I was a student, I also wanted to become a technology professional, but the overall scenario, education scenario was not such that we could actually pursue career in information technology. But then fast forward after that 10 years, gradually we were introduced the mobile phones through Nepal Telecom. And then those were the days even India did not have cell phones. So Nepal was quite a forefront in technology, rapidly growing during the 90s. But after that, the next decade to come, we kind of backed down a little bit because of the insurgency and all those things. We could not develop as such. I know that you will not remember it because most of you were not born then. But then the development back then was stalled because of the insurgency, which lasted for almost a decade. And then the nation lost a lot of development opportunities then. But then once the insurgency was over, again we were back on track, and then a lot of multinational technology companies began to establish in Kathmandu and in Nepal altogether. So in that context, the technology education also became available to students. And Software College of IT and E-Commerce was founded in the year 2010 with the vision that the technology is the one tool that Nepal can progress forward very rapidly, because we've lost a decade, a whole entire generation in the insurgency. And that's the vision of Mr. Bigyan Shrestha, and we supported that vision, and that's how Software College was established. And in the initial days, we were offering diploma level courses, level 4 and level 5, and we were offering level 6 also, but that was online with University of Central Lancashire. So, and through those courses, we developed over a couple of thousands of graduates who did really well both at the national and the international arena. So, and then we thought that we should go with the full program, and that's where we sort of approached Coventry University in the year 2015-16, but it actually materialized only in 2018. And since 2018, we are imparting courses in cybersecurity, in artificial intelligence, in computing, data science and computational intelligence, and so on and so forth. That's the journey that is Software come this far. And we have over 5,000 graduates spread all across the world, not just nationally, but internationally as well. In fact, about 80% of our graduates are employed outside, unfortunately. We would like to, employ them inside the country, but, that is not the case right now. And at the moment, we are teaching, at this moment, we are teaching over 1,500 students at Software in various courses. So now, the core thing about technology is that anybody can start a business. Anybody can actually transcend the border and get the projects and all sorts of work as an individual. So unlike other businesses, unlike other things, you do not need a lot of capital, the investments, the brick and mortar companies, all those kind of things. You can start right away with your laptop and the skills that the institutions like Softwarica provides you over the course of 3 years at the undergraduate level. And a lot of our students right now are actually making money, actually doing all those beautiful things that the technology can provide. And at the TECHX, the whole event is the part of that as well. So from tomorrow, our students will showcase the projects that they have made using the knowledge that we have imparted over past few years to come up with innovative ideas, the ideas that can change the societies, the idea that can even change the nation. And they did not spend a lot, and they did not invest a lot, and they did not have to, run around different doors of the government agencies to make things happen. They did it by themselves. They did it with the help of our supervisors. They did it with the help of our college. So that is the kind of possibility that IT can provide. And also, if you compare this industry with other industry, the return on investment is quite high in technology. As you can see, a lot of millionaires and billionaires these days, they are almost all of them somehow related to technology. So you must have read in the news. So all the new millionaires, all the new billionaires coming out through the technology sector because, and at the age of 27, 28, 31, 25, and which was not possible 20 years ago, 30 years ago, right? So this is all made possible because of technology and the freedom of information, the access to information, access to materials is not limited now. It's unlimited. You can access everything everywhere through the internet. So this is the kind of field, it's a level playing field for everyone. And that is not the case for other sectors. You need to know a few people, you need a lot of investments to start something, and that is not the case in technology. And that is what we've been promoting through our institution, Softwarica College and Software Group as a whole. So I'll tell more, I'll pass on the mic to Sarisa. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your insights, sir. So as you indicate, yeah, please. So as you indicated about the transformative power of technology and how it's impacting the different sectors, let's pivot a little to the transformation it has brought up in the media field, because we say that media is the mirror of the society, and rightly so, because I think it is perfectly reflected about the technological revolution that is occurring in the society right now. So my question is to Suraj Dai, since you've been in the media industry for the longest period of time, you must have witnessed the transformation that technology has brought in the media field, from TV to smartphones, from analog to digitals, from prints to platforms. So what is the major technological shift that you've witnessed in this journey, and how has it redefined the way media has been operating?
Thank you, Dr. Saab. And it's so good to be here, seeing these many, all the heads that belong to that category of age group called youth. Good to have you here. Seldom we see these many young talents under one roof for a noble cause like this. So, and thank you, Big Answer, for having me as well, and rest of the management team. It's always been like a family to me when it comes to Software Group. Thanks to this gentleman, a good friend of mine, Mr. Bigyan Shrestha, your chairman. Now, coming back to the question, I think I was lucky enough to be in that transition phase of media and technology, where the first episode that I did on TV was almost back in 2000, so that makes it 25 long years. So let me recall a few of the moments, the technology, the procedure, the way of handling camera, and the size of the camera, that I get amazed to see. There was a time when camera used to be like a gun. It was very heavy, big, lot of limitations. The tripod size would be double the size. I mean, if you're carrying a tripod or a camera, that would be weighing around 30 to 50 kg. Lot of hiccups, lot of limitations, yet we enjoyed it back then, but now things have changed. You don't need big cameras. You don't need television, in fact. I mean, look at this guy. He was under me in my team for how many years did you work, and said that there's no point working under Suraj Singh Thakuri, and you left and did it on your own. 9 months, see? 9 months he couldn't handle me. So basically, jokes apart, but then there was a time where, if I talk about my fraternity, there was a time where if I was a very talented guy and if I had a lot of ideas, I would strongly and only depend on some media house. The process would be, I come up with amazing idea, then I write it down, I make a hard copy of it, visit the television station, first of all handle that receptionist, talk to them, him or her, try to convince that my proposal is really good. This is the show that Nepal has not seen as of yet. And then this can make an impact. The first thing would be to impress that receptionist who has no idea whatsoever about what the show is all about and how it's done. The second step, if that person gets involved, then there is a layers and layers and layers, and finally would come to a position that I'm in. Now, do you need Suraj Singh Thakuri? Do you need a television station? No. All that you need is good internet service, a good camera, not in form of the broadcasting camera. I'm talking about any DSLR. Forget about DSLR, in fact. A mobile is good enough these days, right? So what technology to me is whatever makes your life easier, convenient, and what you enjoy doing. That's technology to me. If you talk to me as a media guy, what technology to me is, it's broadcasting, it's satellite, it's camera, good computer, good internet service. Similarly, if I go and talk to somebody like Sarisa who belongs to medical science, probably she'll be telling me good equipment where for any inspection, may it be for anatomy or physiology, whatever makes my life easier, short, easy to handle, easy to understand, and with near to perfection results. I think that's technology. And over the years, I think in Nepal, I don't know about other fraternity or other aspect of the society, but we're going on a very right direction, on a very good speed when it comes to technology. And thanks to gentlemen like these and you, of course, just lay, yes, there is a possibility and we can achieve. And to sum it up, what I feel is, obviously, every coin has two sides. So do you want to be the good part of the technology or you want to be the bad part of technology? Because hackers, they are amazing technicians. The creators, like Vinayak, they are the positive side of the creativity, the positive side of technology. When it comes to hackers, scammers, they are on the negative side of the... It's like चोर र पुलिसको चलिरहन्छ के, चोर कहिले अगाडि कहिले पुलिस. So it goes hand in hand. But to sum it up, I think if it wasn't technology, life wouldn't be this easier for all of us.
Brilliant points, Dai. Thank you so much for your insights. So as you talked about the digital platform, now I'd like to move the question to Mr. Vinayak Kuikil, since he's been very successful in establishing his own digital profile as a very successful creator of Why So Offended. So what is it that has really worked for you? Is it your clear vision? Is it the story behind your brand? Or it's your consistency? And especially with advent of technology, how has the technological tools such as, let's say, AI or your video editing apps, or in any ways, how has technology supported or enabled your creative process?
I'd like to tackle your first question. What has worked for me is, I think I'm open to change or open to new experiences. There's this highly researched theory called Big Five model, and one of the most important personality trait that a person can have to grow is openness to experience. You have to have high openness to experience or high openness to change. So I think I have that. I'm always open to new experiences. I think that worked for me. I even worked in television to gain that experience. What kind of experiences can I get and learn, and I can know what to do and what not to do. So I think that has worked for me. And regarding AI, I mean, for the last few years, AI has gone to such lengths, to such lengths that even they think creatively than us at some point. And me personally, as a creator, I've been using AI for at least a year. We use image generation, video generation, and my favorite personally, it's Notebook LM by Google. It's completely free, and I wonder how it's completely free, because the kind of task that we have to do, read research paper, synthesize information, now all of that can be done with one click, but you must also know what to ask. See, AI is just like a tool, and you have to know how to use it. And recently I came across this deep research feature by ChatGPT, and I was amazed by its research capability, because before that I used to believe that AI, it makes a lot of mistakes when researching things, and they misinterpret and misrepresent facts. But I came across deep research, and I was amazed. The kind of inductions and deduction, the implied things from the abstract of a research paper, it has been able to give that to me, and along with sources and which line of which research paper. So that's really amazing. It has multiplied my efficiency personally. But what I also think is, if you depend too much on AI, it's going to hamper your creativity, because what we human beings tend to do is we don't want to do hard works. We like to delegate hard work, and creativity is something that's hard, and you don't like to do that. So once you delegate your creativity to AI, you start becoming like everyone else. So what I would suggest to upcoming content creators or even future engineers, don't delegate creativity. Try to think of new ideas, try to come up with solutions to your problems yourself, and AI is just a synthesizing tool that is going to make your redundant task easier to tackle. So use it that way. I think, did I answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So there are a lot of job opportunities right now with content creation, a lot of remote job works as well. And on that context, I'd like to ask the next question to Mr. Prajwal. Since you have been working with Remote Jobs Nepal, you've been creating a lot of job opportunities. Many young people, they really want to get into freelancing right now, especially I think it's the post-COVID era, that a lot of us want to land some remote jobs because it's convenient like that. But a lot of the people are very unclear about what's the first step to be taken. So what do you believe are the key actions or the mindset shift that's required to land a job, a freelancing job, and what has actually helped you from your personal experience to change this interest into an actual source of income?
What if I tell you guys, being based in Kathmandu, Nepal, you can solve problems for big billion-dollar companies like Uber, Adobe, Mercedes-Benz. So recently in the past quarter, the company that I'm working for, we closed these companies. And my work that I did here, being based in Kathmandu, Nepal, and a lot more fellow colleagues and young people who are working remotely internationally from Nepal, they are actually solving big problems for these global giants. And to think about it, it might be a little bit amusing, and you might think, hey, is that even possible for me? But that is definitely a possibility, and I'm here to kind of help you understand how that's possible. I think when you talk about mindset, right, first of all, it's very important to know that that's a viable career path for you guys. So you are now getting into your bachelor's degree, perhaps, and looking for exploring different career opportunities, right? And I would like to urge you guys to think about taking remote jobs and pursuing international career from Nepal as one of your career paths. So being open to that thought that, hey, I can solve big problems and make it big from here, Kathmandu is the first step, I would say. Like convincing yourself that that's a viable path. Other than that, of course, it's about skill set. You need a baseline of hard skills, which is very important, which can be in AI, which can be in data science, which can be even in content creation. Anything is possible, but beyond the baseline hard skill, there are a few things that will really help you propel towards landing an international remote job. You might have heard about soft skills, but have you heard about executive communication framework? That is the communication framework that C-suite executives use in big companies. And if you can learn those things right now while you're at college, then you can really impress these big companies and allow them to give you a chance to solve big problems for them, right? And yeah, other than that, the market is growing. Right now, about 30% of work in the US is delegated offshore, and it's expected to grow up to 40% in the next 5 years. And even if we can capitalize on a couple of those percentages from Nepal, then that is a really, really huge opportunity for us. At the same time, if we're talking about 5 years ago, it was very difficult for talents like us to convince, hey, I'm from Kathmandu, Nepal, I'm from Pokhara, Nepal, I'm from Chitwan, Nepal, give me a chance, I can provide value for you. But right now, people from Nepali origin, they have built big companies. Recently, you might have heard a couple of companies raising $30 million in Series A, right? So right now, companies in the West, companies in the US, they are aware that there are talents in Nepal. So now we don't really have to hustle to introduce, hey, Nepal is a good country with amazing talents. That work has already been done. Now it's your time to prepare yourself accordingly. And there are, of course, a few strategies and tactics that will really help you get connected with companies in the West. But yeah, I think the mindset shift is the most important part, and preparing yourself throughout your college time so that you can land a job right after college is something really viable and opportunity for you guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prajwal. That's a lot to reflect on. And as you mentioned that Nepal is already making a mark in the global map. So I'd like to pose my next question to Ms. Andrea. First of all, welcome to Nepal. And if I may start on a lighter note, I just want to know, what is your impression of Nepal, its people, its culture, and especially the youths of Nepal, because you've been working with students from all across the world. So how does Nepal and Nepali students stand out, especially in terms of contribution to the technological and innovation field?
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And just for context, I do represent a British institution, which is actually a global education provider, and I work in student recruitment. So we, as you rightly pointed out, recruit students worldwide. We welcome over 38,000 students to the UK every year from over 150 countries. However, I must say South Asia is #1 region for us. We attract many Nepalese students as well. So if I go back to 3-4 years ago, we used to welcome anything between 20 to 40 Nepalese students. Over the past year, we've been welcoming over 2,000 students from Nepal only. So that in itself shows that Nepali students are really keen to expand their reach and think globally and access global education the best way that they can. But at the same time, of course, Coventry University partners with Softwareika College, and we welcome hundreds of Nepali students to join our programs, which are delivered locally, but actually the degree at the end, it's a British degree. So it's really interesting to see that the mindset of the Nepali student is to think globally, operate locally, and think individually. So that's the first thing to note there. So, you know, Coventry University it's actually a very popular brand in Nepal. I'm really thankful for that. In terms of my time in Nepal, this is my 3rd time here, actually. I absolutely love the country. Might give up on me? Oh no, he's back. I absolutely love the country. I think what really stands out here when I sit or stand in front of hundreds of students like today is the fact that students are really eager to understand all of their options available to them. They are engaging, they are interested, they consider their options thoroughly, and eventually when they arrive in the UK, they are great contributors, not only into the classroom, but also to the local communities that they operate within. Nepali students work hard, they are reliable, and they are, very culturally aware. So, most of you speak more than 2 languages, I assume. With that background, means that in the UK you can make friends from other areas of the world as well, and it helps you adapt quicker as well. So I think, overall, Kathmandu, I've only been to Kathmandu so far, it's very welcoming, it's such a beautiful place, and I think it's always great to be able to talk to Nepali students, because I know that you are listening, seriously considering your future, and eventually when you make the right decision, you contribute, you work hard, and you succeed.
Thank you so much for giving us a global perspective. So from the global roots, let's shift a little back towards our local roots. And for that, I'd like to once again pose my question to Suraj Dai. If you could share with us some local innovation stories, it could be in terms of storytelling, or monetization, or distribution, that has actually redefined the media tech industry in Nepal. And also, according to your personal experience, what are the drawbacks that you see right now? What is holding us back in the technology aspect?
I think it all comes down to your personality. Imagine me having a good gadget and making the best of it, and somebody with ill intention having the same technology and utilizing that technology to his or her benefits, regardless of the fact that would this impact my society, would this represent me in a different way. I think it all comes down to how do you handle your mindset. Do you want to utilize it, or are you looking for it to destroy somebody? If I can take an example, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Judgment Day. Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the, I don't know, you've seen the version 4, if there are any sequel, if there is, but then I belong to the generation where I saw the first Judgment Day, then it's basically robots taking over humans. And of course, like Ramayana, there is Ram and there is Ravan. Like Mahabharata, there is Pandav, and of course, there's Kaurav as well. So both the parties have the best ability to take care of themselves, handle and see what is right or wrong according to them. And then the history decided that who's right or who's wrong. So I think, to answer Sarisha, I think the media has seen the best of technology, the media has seen the best utilization of it, and of course media has seen the worst of it as well. So how do we pursue it? How do we take it? It all comes down to the way you're brought up. It's about your mindset, how happy you are in life, how good soul you are. So to me, this is something that needs a long debate and can't be answered like that. I basically do not have a magical answer for it, actually.
Thank you so much. I think you've rightly put up the points that are required. So as you mentioned, there are so many accessible tools and platforms right now. So I want to ask this question to Binayak ji, since you've been in the content creation field for quite some time, and you've seen how how much the process has been eased off in these years, and with so much tools and everything coming in, the barriers to enter into the field seem very low. So what, according to you, are the do's and don'ts when someone is stepping into the field of content creation? And what do you think also, how is the field going to evolve in the next 10 years, let's say, the scope?
They say you are what you eat. So in social media as well, you are what you consume. And you can only cook with what's in the kitchen. And what you have to understand is, if you consume brain rot, you're going to produce brain rot content, right? So everything comes down to what you consume. And what I would like to suggest to future creators is the most educational videos on YouTube are the ones with the most boring thumbnails. So don't let the thumbnails fool you. Don't let the titles fool you. I'll give you an example. I am a huge fan of this YouTube channel called MIT CourseWave. So these are free lectures from MIT universities by amazing professors. So when I say this, what I'm trying to say is, information out there it's out there. It's about how you access it, and you have to consume that. And the way these people teach are amazing. They teach in equations, they teach in analogies, they teach through examples. So you are what you consume. As a creator, you have to consume things that others are not consuming, and then you'll be able to produce things that are unique to you. You understand what I'm trying to say, right? So you as a creator, you have to consume things that other people are not consuming. Then you'll have the knowledge that other people do not, and then you produce out content that other people are not creating. So if you want to make reels, don't just consume make reels. If you want to make YouTube videos, don't consume YouTube. Don't just consume YouTube videos. Consume things that are beyond that domain, and then creativity happens. See, the way I understand creativity, it's overlapping of knowledge. It's overlapping of multiple knowledges and multiple domains. There's this book by Walter Isaacson, Leonardo da Vinci. One of the huge takeaways from this book, this biography, has been to be a polymath. So the idea of polymath is someone who knows how to do everything. The person may master it, may not master it, but that person has idea of a lot of things, and when they have ideas of a lot of things, they can create something new by overlapping those ideas. The intersection of those ideas produces something very different. So you have to keep knowledge of multiple things that's going around you. Yeah, that's it. What was the second question?
So it was about the scope of content creation in the next 10 years possibly, and anything that our students could start off developing early on to step into the field if they're interested.
I would like to reframe this question like this. If I had to start off from the beginning without doing anything that I did, I would start with a skill first. One particular skill, and then I would build on it. I would stack on those skills. One basic skill, I would keep stacking on that skill, and I would keep creating content around that skill set. Now that would help elevate my brand value. You understand what I'm trying to say, right? So let's say if I learn coding, the basics of coding, I would create content around, I will try to learn this particular language in 90 days, and I would create content every day. That creates some kind of public accountability that's going to push you to learn that language. So you have that public accountability to learn that particular language, and you will also be creating content as a byproduct of that learning. And that will help inspire a lot of people and build your particular community. So I would do that. I would suggest you guys to do that. I mean, I see a lot of young people right here, and if I were you guys, I would start by this. And I am not sure 10 years down the line what would the content scene look like, but once again, everything comes down to openness to experience. So this has been a biggest takeaway for me, for my life as well. Keep doing what you're doing and be open to change, open to experience. Don't close doors to opportunities. Don't close doors to technological changes and technological advancement. Try to adapt. And I think if you keep adapting, I don't think you'll need to worry what is going to happen in 10 years' time. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. Such great insights. To add on to that, I'd like to ask Mr. Prajwal that technology has really blurred the borders of opportunities. And when we're talking about earning globally, it also means we are competing globally. So to stand out in the international market, what are the specific, let's say, the skill sets or the strategies or approaches that one can take?
Hello? Yeah, that's a really good question, right? So when you are thinking about working for global companies being based in, let's say, Kathmandu, Nepal, you have equally huge amount of competition. But the unique differentiation factor for us being based in Nepal is that we can deliver the same quality of work as someone in the US could do, as someone in the UK could deliver, right? But the cost of living here, there's a concept called purchasing power parity that explains to live a similar quality of life, like how much does it really cost? Let's say to live a decent quality of life, you might need $6,000 in the US. you can live a similar quality of life with, let's say, $2,000 here in Nepal. So हामीहरू भन्छौँ नि like, okay, विदेश गएर पहिलो वर्ष नै 10 लाख 12 लाख कमायो. Well, you can think that बाहिर गएर 10 लाख कमाउनु is kind of similar to नेपालमा बसेर 2 लाख कमाउनु, right? The value of those amount translate to be the same. And the reason why people like me and a lot of the friends in remote work community are getting these global opportunities is they deliver the same quality of work as someone in the West, but they are doing that for a fraction of a price. Now, of course, you should know how to price yourself well. I'm not telling you that you should price yourself like really less compared to someone in the US, but there's a sweet spot, right? It's slightly more affordable than the West, but it's slightly above Nepali standard, which is like the really sweet spot. So regardless of the competition, if you can prepare yourself to deliver same quality of work as someone in the West could do, I think there is a huge chance. There's a small example that I want to add to at the end. I recently got hired into this finance AI company based in the US, right? And the hiring manager told me that he went through interviews with 100 different people in the US. And then he brought me on a call after all of those 100 people. But because the quality of work that I would deliver is kind of the same, and because of the cost benefit for startups, the company ended up hiring me. So we do actually have a good chance of getting hired despite global competition.
Thank you so much. I think that's something very important for our students to understand as well, because definitely taking this first step forward is always overwhelming. Once we've done talking about the transformation, the changes, now I think very important is how do we equip ourselves with the skill set and the necessary knowledge. And for that, I would like to ask the question to Mr. Pramod, sir. As the principal of Softwareika College, an esteemed IT institution, could you shed some light on some of the important programs or plans that this college has to offer? And also, how is this institution working to create pathways for students inside Nepal or even outside in the ever-evolving IT field to compete in the global market?
Thank you, Sarisa. Thank you for the question. At Softwareika College in Nepal, we focus on holistic development of our students. So holistic in the sense that, you must have heard that artificial intelligence is going to take up jobs, right? And it will take up jobs. But those kinds of jobs that are monotonous in nature, that are less creative in nature. So I've been speaking to a lot of different IT companies, both nationally and internationally, and their feedback was that the entry-level jobs are going to be extinct, right? So the entry-level jobs, the coding jobs, the website development jobs are going to go because of artificial intelligence. And also the writing jobs, or technical writer. Remember 5-6 years back, technical writers used to earn quite a lot. But now, who's talking about technical writing? I mean, you simply prompt on one of those AI tools, there you go. You get all the technical writing that you need. And so for other writings as well. So now, in this scenario, how do we equip students with those skills that is needed, as Prajwal rightly pointed out, to compete with international companies, with international competitors? So that's where all this innovation and internationalization comes in. So the Softwareika College mainly focuses on two things: innovation and internationalization. The innovation meaning that this event is also the part of innovation that we do every year. So this is the beginning of the show that starts from tomorrow, where all our students' projects are being displayed. And as Prajwal said, what if you are just a fresh graduate and you don't really have anything to showcase to the companies that you are the one who can take up the jobs, international jobs? And that's where your project comes in. And when you work on this innovative project, that's where you learn the skills. And those are the projects that you could actually showcase to your possible employers, that you were able to accomplish these projects in these amount of time. And you collaborated with your team. And the project has to be innovative enough for the employers to sort of be impressed by you and to employ you, both nationally and internationally. And that's why Softwareika College focuses on a lot of hands-on activities where you actually have to make your hands dirty, join cables. We do a lot of, we have a project going, RC plane, remote control plane, where students actually build their own planes and they go out on the fields and try them out. And they program their planes and how it flies and all those sort of things. And of course, last year we made a robot called Mira 2.0. So that robot, thanks to Coventry University, funded the whole thing. So we were able to make it. It wasn't advanced, but then now Coventry University again funded us for another robot, which will be showcased from tomorrow. If you would like to see it, please visit Software College, how it was done, and what kind of students were involved in building that. And once you have all those things in your CV, you will not have much when you graduate, right? But all you have is the kind of projects that you are involved in. And once you can say that you were involved in making a life-size robot at your institution, that will be impressive. And that will get you somewhere, and you will stand out in the competition. So those are the kinds of things that we do. The internationalization part, we have student exchange agreements with many different universities across the world. And we've kind of made our strategy that every year, at least 4 times, students will go out of the country. Obviously, not everyone can go out of the country because of finances and all that, but we give them opportunity to visit other countries, other centers, Coventry University centers across the world. Particularly last time, we went to Vietnam. So 15 of our students actually went to Vietnam, and they interacted, they collaborated with the institutions there. Not just learning technical stuff, but also the cultural stuffs, how to connect with people. In this world, now we've become a global village. The more languages you speak, the more people that you can connect with, the more cultures that you are aware of, there's a better chance for you to be employed by a multinational company, because multinational company operates all around the world, and they need people like yourselves. And before that, our students went to Thailand to participate in one of the international events. And now we are planning to go to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and also we are obviously UK is we to go there every year. So Software College provides all that opportunity, not just to learn technical tidbits, right? But also cultural exchange, student interactions, and sitting for lectures in other countries as well. So that way you get all around knowledge for your holistic development, so that you can compete with international students, international graduates all around the world, or maybe you stay back and follow Prajwal. He might be able to, guide you how to get, very good jobs online through these multinational companies. Thank you.
Amazing. I think, as you pointed out rightly, that global exposure and cultural immersion in terms of knowledge is so much important. So on that context of global exposure and relevance, I want to pose this question to Andrea to talk a little more about Coventry University and how this esteemed institution has been contributing to develop global IT leaders and professionals in today's interconnected world.
Sure, that's a very good question. So, first of all, just a little story. If we go back to 1848, is when our institution firstly opened, and back then we were a polytechnic. We were not a university. So we operated one college, the engineering college called at the time, in Coventry, one building, probably about 100 students. Since then, of course, we realized that the external environment is really impacting in the way that we deliver education. And the external pressures are not only digital and artificial intelligence related digitalization, but also political, legal, and economical as well. And so we have expanded our presence in the UK with multiple campuses in Coventry, London, Scarborough, in Poland, in Central Europe as well. But over the past 10 years, we realized that the intention, the mindset of the students changed significantly. So our students wanted to have global exposure experiences and learn degrees and programs that will equip them with the right knowledge and skills to be able to succeed in the world of work in the future. So how can we do that from Coventry? We didn't have Microsoft Teams at the time, we hardly had laptops, everything was hard copy, even the application process was done manually via the post office, etc. So if we think about where we are now and on the point of adjusting to the needs of the students and the needs of the world, the employment world, the world that we operate within, a few years later, we became the only global education provider in the UK. What that means is that we have our campuses in the UK, however, we have head offices across various continents and countries, including India, China, Singapore, Dubai. We have our branch campuses in Egypt, Morocco, Kazakhstan, China, India, Africa, and more are being opened as we speak. The purpose of those head offices and hubs are not only to expand our teams from professional services perspective, your IT, your HR teams, but also to develop local business, because we want to make a difference not only in the UK, the jobs market there and economically, but we want to make a difference in the communities within which we operate. And so we have close partnerships with employers, local employers, global employers. We want our students to be able to tap into all of those resources when they graduate, and we want them to have limitless options, essentially. So those are the hubs, and then, of course, we have the campuses as well, where they operate on different models, franchise, so they receive a Coventry University degree, but it's taught by, local educators in those specific countries. And apart from that, we developed over 250 partnerships with local schools and colleges in the same way that we have with our top strategic partners of Dwarka College here in Nepal, which means that, you graduate with a Coventry University degree as well, and so you get that exposure to the way things are being taught over in the UK. Colleagues, academics from Dwarka College very often travel to Coventry University campuses and observe the way that things are taught and developed, programs and the way the teaching methods and everything else, and the same way and the same standards are replicated here. So all of a sudden, we now operate on a fully global platform where students locally have access to British degrees where they don't have to travel very far. Actually, they can be in their own cities, but they actually have the opportunity to progress. So for example, if they want to complete 1 year in Nepal and they want to complete 2 years in the UK, part of their undergraduate degree, they can do that. So that means, again, we do live in a sort of, financially aware kind of environments anyway, globally, cost sensitive. So if students don't want to spend the entire tuition fees and all the associated costs for 3 years in the UK, they can actually complete 1 year in their home country or 2 years and top it up with 1 year in the UK. And then that gives them, of course, access to their visa post-study work, so the ability to work in the UK for 2 years. So all of a sudden, they've had experiences both from hopefully employment and education perspective in their home country, and then they get to experience the culture in the UK as well as employment. So once they graduate, they'll be in the best position to compete with anybody across the world because they've had all of those insights. And this is what stands out, for us as a university, because, as I mentioned, we are the only institution in the UK operating globally, truly globally, and actually investing resource, time, and passion in our partnerships and really spending time with our students locally to make sure that they understand all of the options and that we make education accessible for them anywhere they are in the world.
Thank you so much. I'd just like to add on to my question a little bit, since you're also a global educator. So I think it'll be really good for you to also share a little bit of your perspective on how should our young students be preparing themselves as they are ready to delve into the pathway of IT, not just nationally, but internationally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I'd like to point out here that once we absolutely need to keep up with the trends externally, and AI is one of the main things, I would say make the most of that and upskill yourselves to understand how the platforms work and the advantages, and use that to your advantage. But at the same time, as it was discussed earlier on, be aware of the challenges and the drawbacks of using certain, technological platforms as well. So if you think about, I don't know, let's pick ChatGPT as an example. This day and age, our students use ChatGPT to submit their assignments. which is interesting. We would like to think that they use, some of their own input, creativity into their assignments. But whilst they do that, educators and lecturers use ChatGPT to spot if the students cheated in any way, there's any plagiarism. So all of a sudden you can see one single platform is used for different things that are really actually quite conflicting. So I would say use it to your advantage, but in the prospects of education overall, there will always be needs for you to contribute yourself with your own personal touch, your own views and creativity as well, because ultimately what really adds value, so the reason why you would enroll onto a university course is to improve your knowledge and your skills to be able to secure your dream job, right? But in the workplace, your input is what matters. And the more diverse the room, it could be a classroom or it could be a boardroom at work or a team meeting, anything, you need to come up with your own contribution. And in Nepal, in South Asia, obviously your culture is unique, your perspective is unique, and you have to contribute with that. If like everyone else, you use all of these platforms, there will be no differentiation overall. So that's again in the classroom and when it comes to your employment as well. And I think as it was mentioned earlier on, in education is really important. Your degree matters. The overall grade that you get, that is your passport to your future. And if there's no differentiator, and as I mentioned very often, if the work is absolutely similar to your colleagues, then there will be also consequences as well, and the risk of not completing the degree. So in the context of, again, technology, use it to your advantage. And as a university, we do exactly the same thing. We want to make sure that we use tools from teaching methods and techniques that appeal to you and your generation. So we need to keep an eye on developments and adapt, but at the same time, also adapt a critical approach and use all of these developments to your advantage, but continue to be inquisitive and restless and be unique in the way that you input in the classroom, within your assignments and exams, and ultimately when you secure your job as well. Don't lose your personal identity.
Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to ask a common question to all of our panelists. Anyone can go first, as you wish. So, according to your personal experience, you all are from different walks of life. So, what are the specific skill sets or niches that you think are the most profitable or in demand right now, where our students can definitely tap into, especially the youths of Nepal? Anyone can go first.
Thank you. This is a very interesting question, and my take on it, given the technology advancement throughout the world. Now, people are buying all sorts of stuff from all sorts of different companies and shops and so on and so forth. Now, the situation is such that it now matters who you buy it from, not the product itself, right? So products are pretty much similar these days, but now it matters who you buy it from. So personal branding. So, if you need to start your personal branding now, because you need to get connected with as many people as possible, as many companies as possible, and you have to come to forums like these to get connected and know the right people, and to build whatever personal brand you can build, right? So because at the end of the day, it is the trust in business that really works, right? Given the fact that the products are almost similar, there are not much differentiation these days. We must have realized it when we go to the shops. Everybody is selling pretty much the similar stuffs, right? But then all it matters is how much trust can you get from that particular seller. And you want to build that trust factor, you want to build that network factor in order to stand out from all different sellers, all different competitors. And that's my take on it. I think Binayak will agree on that because he's been a content creator for a while, right? And if Binayak says something about some product, you might be inclined to buy it. And if I say the same thing, you might not buy it. So that is the kind of personal brand he's built. And not everyone could get to that level, I think, but then at least you could sort of try to build a little bit more of a personal brand than others. And that's how you move on. Maybe others can add too.
Absolutely. I think it's a holy grail that what you've said, because personal branding is so important. Since I also come from a very academical background, I think over the course of life, I've also realized how important personal branding is. And, more than knowledge, I mean, of course, knowledge, experiences, all of those things count, but you have to start personal branding from very early on. So anything to add on to that, Mr. Prajwal?
Yeah, there are a couple of specific skill sets that I think is very important to differentiate us, right? So the first one I would say is the ability to take initiative yourself, like taking self-initiative and the value-driven approach, let's say. So if you can push yourself to put yourself out there, do some research and grab some opportunities, even the fact that you all are here today, it shows that you take initiative yourself, right? So number one, I would say is you should really push yourself to create the habit of taking initiative. And the second one is value-driven approach, which means that you do not wait for others to ask you to complete certain tasks, right? You think about what value can I provide at this point of time, maybe in your class, maybe in your assignment. If you're applying for different jobs, what are the value that I can create upfront, right? So if you can create value, show that you are actually skilled, show that you are capable of solving problems for other people, even before you are asked or even before you're expected to do any work, then that value-driven approach will really help you stand out from the crowd. And one more thing that is like really less talked about is cultural fit. Now, it's debatable that we keep it under skill set or not, but I would rank cultural fit as it's more important than soft skills, and soft skills are more important than hard skills. Like, definitely you need a baseline of hard skills, but what cultural fit means is the first manager that got me hired into this Icelandic company, he told me this quote, and I want to quote Reese Fisher on this. Hey, Praswell, I don't care if you're the best coder in the world. If you're not culturally fit in my company, I am not going to hire you. So what does that mean? Like, cultural fit really is extremely important, despite you being the top level talent in terms of hard and soft skills. So if you can think about how you can be culturally fit across the globe, wherever you're aspiring to build your career in, then that'll be really helpful for you.
Thank you for the absolute brilliant points. Yes.
Thank you. Just to follow on from that, actually, and if I may share some advice with the students here in the room, because I do think that building your profile is really important. So you have to start to think about that right now. And what that means is how your peers and how your seniors perceive you right now in your classroom. When you progress, hopefully to Softwareca, Coventry, anywhere else in the world, you're on the stage where it's not necessarily that you are being judged, but your performance is being monitored. And that could mean that you'll be given opportunities or the opposite. So building your own profile means that you have to think about yourself as a person, and some of the key skills that my colleague mentioned are absolutely critical. You also have to think about what we would call basic, but not basic for everyone, timekeeping, teamwork. Always make sure that you contribute, that you get to understand how your classmates, how your workmates operate as well. Culture is also really important, and there is no way to learn how a culture works. You have to experience it. And this is why I always recommend have the physical exposure to get to understand that. Every person across the world will be different. The only way to understand it and how to adjust your style as well is to get to observe how they operate. But being prepared and working, as you mentioned, doing your research in any circumstance, be the most prepared person in the room, in any circumstance, and actually be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I think that for anything great to happen, your comfort zone must be disturbed. So, do your research. Timekeeping is actually a good one. So with some international students, if you say that the meeting starts at 11 o'clock, the cultural understanding is that actually they can turn up at 12 o'clock and that's acceptable. In the UK, that's absolutely not acceptable in any circumstance. But some of these behaviors are driven by their local challenges, perhaps. I don't know, transportation might be a challenge, weather might be a challenge. So there is no expectation that anybody is there at 11 o'clock. If you arrive in the UK and anybody's telling you that you have to be in the classroom at 11 or in the meeting room, in the workplace at 11 o'clock, On your day off, you have to test all of the public, transportation options and see how long it takes, pre-plan, prepare to be there on time. It's just a very small example in terms of preparation. Anytime you have to, deliver a presentation to your peers as part of an assignment, you need to prepare. You need to understand your audience because you're talking for them, not for yourself. Another example. So preparation is key. Be flexible, work hard, and just understand that some of these basic skills are really important to adapt, to be flexible, to be on time, and the personal profile as well. How you present yourself physically, the way you dress, people react to the way you dress as well. If you want to be very casual, your audience will be casual back. If you want to wear a suit, you'll see how people treat you differently as well. So think about your profile from all the angles and start to prepare towards the experiences that you want to have, and be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
To add on to that, I think a little concern that I have when it comes to technology, AI, it started off with IT, went on to AI. Probably some fine day we will go to HC, that by HC I mean human clone. I would still be here, yet I don't have to be here. So that bothers me as a human, because we created technology, we created computer, but at times I've started to realize that this box is now taking care of me more than it was supposed to. For instance, there's a command that I give to computer, and what I learned about computer in earlier days was, this is what I tell him, or if I can say him or her, I'm so sorry, I don't know the gender that computer belongs to, but then if I tell it, do this, for instance, 2 plus 2 equals to 4. Now that gadget, technology, the whatever you call it, supposed to answer me. But then, don't you think it has started governing us as well, in a sense where if it says, please press OK to proceed, if I don't press OK, it doesn't move ahead. Now, this might be a very simple example, but this is a bit of a concern, because we humans created it. If we don't handle it, it's going to destroy us. And you have to be very careful, especially the youth like you, because I time and again take an example of my school days where if I had to gain any extra knowledge besides my syllabus, then there used to be library. And very few library, to name it, I think there's a library called British Council, which is popularly known in Nepal amongst the urban youth, where you have a real look of a proper library back in the days. Now, what I used to do was, for instance, if I want to know something about some topic and then I do not have access to, because back in the days, internet was Neil Armstrong to us. We knew about it, but then we had no access to it. Then I remember traveling, reaching there, and you have to be a member first, of course. If you aren't, then you somehow take your friend's membership, and then the exchange of books. You go there, you look for that book. First thing, you need to be lucky enough to, because there were limited books. You have to be lucky enough to get that books, lucky enough to have a space to sit down, and actually jot down the whole 3 pages. If I was looking for a topic called glass, then that glass chapter 3 pages, I literally had to jot down and come back. Now you guys are in a generation where you have access to the whole entire, not only world, universe, Milky Way galaxy, beyond, you name it. From my generation to your generation, within very little span of time, is a very scary thing. That bothers me a lot.